So it's 2025, and people will say, hey, food's so diverse. And we've grown from being a steak and potatoes kind of country to this multicultural food melting pot. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit because guess what? America has and will always be a steakhouse, steak and potatoes country, full stop. And we're gonna talk to Eric Wareheim, Gabe Ulla, who have a new cookbook out, and we're gonna talk about the American steakhouse experience and why that is going to be the sort of definition of America, American food, for maybe forever. So stay tuned. Welcome to the DaveChang Show, part of the Ringer Podcast Network, presented by Major Domo Media. Thank you, Yola Tango, as always. I was cooking some really shitty steaks. I mean, the cooking wasn't shitty, although I did overcook the first steak. This is stuff you get at the supermarket. It's wet aged. Anyway, we're talking about steak right now, and I tried to make a steak. Eric is here with Gabe, who, good friend. We made Eat a Peach together. They just wrote this book called Steakhouse, The People, the Places, the Recipes. This is your second book.
It is.
You better step off because I'm tired of all you other celebrities getting into the food profession.
Listen, but this is not, I'm stepping out of food. I didn't even want to put the recipes. I just wanted to be Steakhouse, The People, the Places. Yes, there's banger recipes that we worked endlessly on, including people from your organization that we love. But the book is, yes, steak, but it's about these, how you said it, it's the institution, it's the place that we love. It's the people that have been working there for 40 years. And no one's documented it, and we photographed everybody. So
I think this book was not really a cookbook. It's a book about steaks.
Yes.
It's a road trip.
Road trip.
Artistic journey.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this
adventure.
right now. Your book might single-handedly save the cookbook publishing industry.
That's what we know. I mean,
that's what you set out to do, right?
I might disagree.
Yeah. we pitched them 11. We're like, we'll do 11 steakhouses. We're like, that's a lot. We got on the road, and the trajectory changed. We ended up shooting 65 because we felt like it was our duty to document this, like in a deep way.
And it's a beautiful book. It feels like you're eating at the steakhouse and all the personalities. And I think that's another thing people may not realize is the real decor of a steakhouse isn't the mahogany wood or the grouchy servers. It's sort of like the crazy characters that you get. It's the finance bros, it's the locals that have been there forever.
Yeah. It's a piano guy who's like right off of cable access. That's unbelievable. But winning everyone over with
the guy at
Billy Joel song.
Yeah, the guy at Delray who plays two saxophones at the same time.
And there are recipes in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful ones.
Recipes from the steakhouses?
Some are from the steakhouses, some are Eric's riffs.
Yeah. We had some chef friends help.
Didn't ask me.
Well, we have a lot of major domo.
I mean, I wonder what was going through your mind when you're like, hey, let's ask all our chef friends, but not ask.
First of all, I did ask you in the beginning. Remember, I texted all the people I respect. And I said, "What's your I'm going to look it up. No, I asked everyone, what's your favorite? Because we had to start a list of where do we start.
But I wasn't like, it was like you're throwing a wide net, and I'm just like, I can say I'm part of this in a tertiary way.
So the major donuts in there.
Gabe is literally like first degree removed from this book. You can't get closer to this book other than Gabe.
I know.
Then you have the steakhouses, one of which is Major Domo. Thank you.
Yeah. Then why aren't you satisfied?
People, I'm not even I'm like fourth or fifth removed.
Did we not put his name in at all?
Yeah, he's in there.
We reduced your font. It's almost impossible to see.
It should be DaveChang right in the fucking middle too. Let's just be honest. So what were your favorites? What's the I'm going to say this because this is such an asinine question, and that's what we ask here. What's your favorite steakhouse?
Major Domo.
Now you're lying. You're paranoid.
Well,
I appreciate it.
I know. I mean, if I had, that's why we shot there. We don't have to go down that path. You know how much I love everything you've done. But I wrote in the book, you're a steakhouse. Because when I see you, I want to hug you. You're gregarious, you're unique. And that's what this is. Like, it's one of the few things America has that's unique and awesome, I think. Yeah. Except for jazz. But Jazz is a little bit better than steakhouse. But best, it's a hard question because we took into account vibe. We should have done some kind of diagram.
No,
So-
let's do this right now. It's going to
full
get cooked
package?
out.
Oh, I have an answer.
Do it.
Full package.
Houston, Pappas Brothers.
It's insane.
Papa's Brothers.
It's amazing.
I've been to Houston many times. Chris Shepard, what the fuck?
He took us there.
No, never fucking took me.
It's his favorite
You know
restaurant.
what? You're taking notes from him. You're cutting me out of the good shit. Chris, fuck you, Chris Shepard.
That was one of the.
Papa.
Last night.
It was.
Is it Greek?
It's owned by a Greek family.
It's
Greek
interesting.
salad?
No.
We almost didn't do it
No,
because
it's like the platonic ideal. It's
Yeah.
like no bullshit on the menu. It's just like you get
Are
what
there-
you get, and it's perfectly done.
Are
And the
there
wine's
like
insane.
carcasses hanging?
No.
no.
Are there places where you can be like, I want that cut?
Yeah, there's a deli. There's like a deli case, right?
When you walk in, it's beautiful.
And it has a little southern charm. Like the room is gorgeous. It's just like it's heaven. Oh, of course, Chris Shepard was there, so everyone's like catering to us.
Ooh, Chris Shepard.
but like the food quality was.
we love you,
yeah.
Chris Shepard. He's one of the
He's
very best.
insane. What-
He's literally a godsend to the culinary
Yeah.
profession.
And we had the best moment we had was like we just listened to him talk the whole night.
He
And
knows
then
where everything
Yeah.
delicious is in Houston.
and we went to our SUV. We had like 10 guys, and we put on Slayer, and we were all headbanging. We were so drunk and happy. We were all headbanging, and the SUV was popping.
And then we noticed that he was just staring right at us.
And he walks over, like, oh my God, he's seeing us. But he was like, whatever's happening here is like the best thing. Like next time, please invite me. It was like the best moment to like, and we're like, it's because of you, man.
This was like a Wayne's World, but Bohemian Rhapsody, but Slayer.
Like an SUV,
Yeah.
literally shaking.
Nice, nice.
Because
It
we're
was-
morons.
Yeah.
That's your favorite steakhouse. What is the feature you think is disappearing from steakhouses that you would like to be in all steakhouses?
You know, what we're seeing is like that uniqueness. You know, like what we've discovered is these are owned by mom and pops, like really, like that are just either trying to do a steakhouse, but in turn, it's unique because it's their own personalities, their own design. They don't have designers. Like some of them are so, like the first one we shot is Beef and Bottle, which is the whole book's inspired by this one place outside of Charlotte, and it looks like a Twin Peaks film, and everyone in there is unique, and I feel like on the road, restaurants are closing. Like we were the last people to document them, and they're done.
No.
And something like Ruth's Chris is going in or something.
Yeah, the place on the cover is outside of San Antonio. That was magical.
Yeah.
And it's
And it was. I mean, it's
and
unique.
that-
There's nothing like that in the world.
no,
Yeah.
Mexican family.
What do they serve?
Chicken fried
Chicken fried
chicken
steak.
fried steak.
But I mean, even in their like, you know, and what
there's-
else is disappearing is like the art of the uniform. Like, this is that place, and it's like we interviewed everybody, and they were like the most wonderful people, and they all loved.
What's the steakhouse called in San Antonio?
Little Red Barn. And basically it started because he was a butcher and he couldn't find a steakhouse where he could afford to take his wife. So he opened a place for the community, and they still keep it as cheap as they
Yeah.
possibly can so that families can go there.
Do you think most of the steakhouses today serve wet aged or dry aged in
Dry-
America?
I would say dry aged.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The bling ones, yeah.
Second question about this. Do you think that there should be carcasses at a steakhouse? Like one of my favorite scenes, food scenes in cinema, is Gangs of New York and Bill the Butcher.
Oh my God.
Like
Yeah.
that's the origin of a steakhouse. It was
Yes.
called beef steaks, right? That literally was what a steakhouse like originated from. Where if you've seen Gangs of New York and there's carcasses of cows, and you have Bill the Butcher just doing
Yeah.
his Daniel Day-Lewis thing,
He's so good in that.
so good
God
at it.
Damn.
And like they would just slice off some
Yeah.
and cook it, and
Yeah.
you would eat in like the abattoir.
butchering, yeah. I mean, the steakhouse in Vegas, Circus, they have.
Never
some-
been to Circus.
You might not need to just look at the pictures. It's one of those, but like it's unbelievable. Like it has its own crazy charm. There was a fight in the bar. Like it's like we had to see all that stuff, and it's such an iconic like sign and room. The sign's not even in the book, but
So the reason is like my dad took me to, it was Morton's. That was like the steakhouse that came to our town. That was like the first steakhouse in Northern Virginia. And I'll never forget, they just wheeled out a cart of like beef, like different cuts and like a wooden cart. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this and this and this, and you could order it. And I'll never forget that because it was like, oh yeah, this is like a cow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My feeling is that it's become so sanitized. So you've seen this over and over. Like Gallagher's in New York, they used to have the window of the dry aged beef. More and more, I feel like steakhouses have removed the concept that it was even a fucking cow.
Yeah. That's very true. I mean, but some people, like the Grill's still doing it. Like there's a couple places we saw. I mean, Papa's Bros, they did too. But
Papa's does it that way too?
Yeah.
But your thing was the whole, that reminds you it's a special occasion.
Yes, he knows this from the book.
Yeah.
We talked about this a long time.
The hunt.
I think that the steakhouse today in America, at least in America, is the modern day sort of equivalent of a sacrifice. So instead of having to kill a goat or a sheep, right, to sort of celebrate something, right, you're celebrating, like if we all hunted, we'd be terrible fucking hunters, right? We would be so hungry, so fucking hungry. And we're like, God, we fucking suck. And we'd be like, Eric, you had a perfect shot at that fucking wildebeest. I can't believe you fucked it up.
I forgot to load my gun.
And then we'd go like 30 days, we'd be super skinny.
Oh my God, 30.
You know?
We should
and then,
shoot
like,
that show, by the way.
accident, like,
I'd be fucked.
Gabe shoots his gun and he hits a fucking giant cow. And we're like, holy shit. We're celebrating. We're like, oh my God, we are going to gorge. We're going to start a big fire. We got some sea salt. We are going to have the best fucking night. And we're going to celebrate like it's the end of days. Right?
Yeah.
Because we suffered that pain. We went through pain and then we ate it and we totally forget about anything that happened before. And then we're going to just have 5 days of just gorging ourselves, drinking some of your fabulous wines. And then we're going to be like, fuck, we got to do this all over again. This sucks. I can't believe we got to do this all over again. And then I think over time, we have lost that ability to hunt. And then the steakhouse, which is why it was important with Bill the Butcher, it's like it's a reminder that death was there.
Yeah.
Right? Life was taken. And meat is something that you are celebrating over. Meat has almost always been, since the dawn of man, like you're celebrating over this shit. And now steakhouses, that's where everyone celebrates. It's either, hey, I closed a deal, I graduated, it's my birthday, and it's usually expensive. So instead of the pain of having to go 30 days or whatever without eating, it's the pain of just like a lot of fucking money, and that's your sacrifice.
I think that's a valid theory.
I love that theory, and it's honestly kind of the introduction of the book in a sense of we just go through life, and a lot of our lives are shitty. You know, I mean, like I went, growing up, I went to Seafood Shaney once a year, which was my steakhouse. It was like a fancy seafood place, but like all year I looked forward to this one thing, which is what everyone does. It's like you work all day, and then but you have this like, well, we're going for our anniversary. We're going to this thing, which is the celebration of
steak dinner is a powerful thing.
You think we've been desensitized because it's too much steak? And I mean that in like not in a negative way, but like exactly what you said. It's like, hey, seafood shanty, I'm waiting to eat this.
Yeah. I mean, we try to write about it like, obviously we ate bites of steak for a couple of years, and we write about that's not, we shouldn't be eating that much meat, and if you do, you should get the good stuff. And we have a whole chat about cream kill in there, because I do believe that there's a good way to eat beef. And
what is the good? I think that's important. What is?
the good way is just to ask. I think same with wine. It's about communication. It's asking your somm, asking your butcher, asking the restaurant, where do you get your beef? If they don't know, that's maybe not the best place to eat. Or if you do have a steak night, maybe order Cream Co. or any of these other great purveyors that are doing it ethically, and you'll just instantly taste the difference. Like you don't have to do anything.
Why is it taste better?
I mean, the cows are free to run around. They're not eating like chemically laden growth hormone
Or
things.
they're
They're not
processing like
jammed.
the whole, like in Cream Co, they process the whole animal. Like they can do things with the aging that you just don't get.
Yeah, I mean,
And it really, truly, like an ethically, humanely raised and slaughtered animal is almost always more delicious because it's not stressed out, doesn't have lactic acid buildup.
yeah, we did a Chris Kroner we call it Secret Steakhouse at Scribe, and he brought all kinds of Cream Co meats and most of it was almost raw, just to like taste the differences, and it was really powerful, honestly, to like. But 99% of steakhouses don't offer that kind of thing. So like my steakhouse experience maybe has a steak, maybe doesn't, but it's about everything else that makes me really happy.
So should we be eating less beef in America? And this is the problem, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we disagree with that. Yeah.
But we would lose steakhouses. That's the debate.
But we are seeing other options, right? I think more and more you're seeing a roast chicken. You're seeing stuff that I think 10 years ago maybe it wasn't as prevalent.
You think we'd lose steakhouses altogether?
No, I mean,
if people
clearly,
exercise moderation.
Gabe knows I've thought a lot about this independent of your awesome book, but I think there's a lot of things run parallel. Like, I think the way they eat it in Asia is the way that we should eat steak, particularly in Japan. While I'm guilty as anybody else of gorging myself on giant Wagyu steak, or something that is Hanwoo beef, the Korean version of it, when you eat that, they're small slices.
Yeah.
Besides, there's no land for it to be like in Argentina. That's a completely different steakhouse culture, or South America in general, but it's highly flavorful, and it's a little bit that's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And
there's pickles.
Pickles.
I mean, Cote in New York is, if I had to say what's the most delicious steakhouse, I would have to say Cote. I'm not saying that. It's just because of the little banchan in between bites. It's like in American steakhouse, it's just you got some buttery
So
and then more
much.
butter.
I mean, look, like we have all of this beef already. We will eat it all later. And I cooked it, and I was like, man, do you think we should just get? How do we make sure that people just get better quality beef, or are we only going to have this version of a steakhouse? And I think this is only going to be it's going to be like this forever in America.
Yeah.
Like forever.
I mean, I feel like we did our job because we say it in the intro, and and we have a chapter on what the solution is. So now it's your turn. You have a podcast. I don't have a pod. I mean, but it's also not your responsibility. It's very hard.
It's 100% my responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard
Can I
to
ask you?
change.
Would you agree with categorizing Major Domo as a steakhouse?
I viewed it as, when we created Major Domo, I wanted it as a place of celebration. And that's what I would view it as. And I think as a higher genre, then yes, it would qualify as a steakhouse. I view steakhouse as a place of celebration, not, because you can go to a steakhouse and not order the steak, which would be crazy, right? But I think it's the environment that you're there, right?
That's exactly
It's
what you
the
said.
environment, and that's what you're trying to capture in the
Yes.
book.
Yes.
It doesn't have to have steak,
No.
right? Like,
Or a group of 6 people can order one ribeye and you'd be absolutely satiated. Like, I've never finished a full steak at a steakhouse because I'm eating all the cream spinach, all the fun stuff. And if there's a chicken parm, like a Del Rey's, we stopped.
so what are the go-to sides? How similar are the sides throughout all the steakhouses you went to, the 60-plus steakhouse?
I mean, there are some classics, but you go to the South, you see Hush Puppies, Parker House Rolls.
By the way, you should always avoid Hush Puppies.
Why? Oh, it fills up.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
You can't eat
I
anything
know, they're
else.
so good, though.
They are delicious, but you can't once you pop one, you can't
I
stop.
know.
I think
know.
the thing that we found was that, the steakhouse, it's a set template. Everybody knows what it is, right? But when you travel around, whether it's because they're more expensive, less expensive, owned by an immigrant from Greece or from Mexico or from Korea, it's like a way. There's also little tweaks, little plays, and we found more diversity than I think you
In the
would
sides?
Yeah.
Even in the first place, Beef and Bottle in Charlotte, they made a homemade port cheddar dip, like that you get And it
It's
was
super simple.
One of my favorite things growing up. We have a recipe for it.
Saltines.
And it was just like, that is so beautiful. They had a lot of southern things there too, but it's like, I love that. Like, I love the little changes throughout the country.
I love that the steakhouse can have these idiosyncratic quirks that make no sense to anywhere else. Growing up in Northern Virginia, there was this place called, great name, JR Stockyards Inn.
Wow.
And it looked like a barn. And they had she crab soup, blue crab soup, but it was female and it was delicious and sherry. And they, speaking of this cheddar thing, they had this like crock of like spreadable cheese, and you would put on bread, and it was like shit that would never make it on any menu today because it just looked bad.
Yeah.
But it was so good.
Can I show you one photo? Just celebrating what you're talking about. Like, we wanted to celebrate things like the relish plate, which I think is also
literally just bagged carrots and ice. Like, there's a recipe for that.
Can I just point out, like when I go to, say, Langer's now, the great delicatessen in downtown Los Angeles, I always order a salad because it looks fucking terrible in the best way.
the sweet gherkins. That's one of
and
my
the
favorite
whole
salads.
black olives in the can.
What dressing do you do?
I don't even remember. Whatever they came
matter.
out. I don't even ask.
Yeah.
It's not even something I'm enjoying to eat.
I just pick at the radishes, the florets, and I
Like
love
they
that.
do the little radish, like where it looks like it's Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But look at this plate. I think we need to have food in restaurants look more like this.
Yeah.
Instead of, if this was in a modern day, like you have a hotshot chef, what would this look like?
Yeah, it would look like the crudité at the grill.
It'd be on a bed of ice.
Yeah.
This would be tiered on like 3 different levels of a
Dry
silver
ice.
tray, dry ice. This would be shingled with a fucking like giant iron thing, and it would be like all stacked up. It would just be like over the top.
Yeah, the one at the grill is amazing, but it looks like a bouquet.
Yeah.
And what I love about the steakhouse in general, besides sometimes you get amazing tableside service, deboning, sole, beautiful, right? You get the whole range of it, but I mean, everyone understands what this is, the wedge salad. The older I get, the more I appreciate the plating is just like, it is what it is, and go fuck yourself.
Yes.
That relish and the crudité, it is what it is, without any, like, I'm trying to be cool. And I just feel we need more of this vibe, the steakhouse vibe in restaurants. Not copying steakhouses, but
And more curly parsley.
Not being afraid to just show what it is. Yeah, and you don't have to fluff. I mean, that's why we gravitated towards this after many years of exotic eating.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that roll?
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the plate.
What I love mostly is this mise en place tray plate. By the way, what's underrated? I would tell you most underrated steakhouse side. This fucking thing right here.
Potato.
What happened? I feel like
I order it every time.
The 80s was like baked potato time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's not cool.
No.
You love a baked potato.
Dude, but I have to do. I always do the accoutrements on the side because I like to design my bite.
Have you been to Clearman's?
Oh my God.
Is that
Dude.
caviar?
No, it's like bacon bits.
I don't remember.
You know what is
That
a
is
fucking
Taylor's.
great move with baked potato? Such a caviar.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Clearman's with you,
Steak&Stein
but
is the crazy. They have the biggest potato I've ever seen. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it's a fun experience.
So I would say,
That's
what's the number
Keen's.
one potato? Potato puree, or is it some kind of fried potato?
I'm full potato puree.
Crispy potatoes are so good.
Potato puree and a steak.
Can you name? We're gonna have a challenge then. The two of you can collectively name as many potatoes you can get in a steakhouse, starting now.
Dauphin
In our
and
heads or
fries.
out loud?
Out loud.
Fries, shoestring fries. Like there's 10 different cuts of fries.
Oh,
You can get potatoes and add a few of them. Pomme Dauphin, souffle
hash browns.
potatoes,
Chopped.
chopped hash.
That's not
No,
understanding.
hash browns.
Hash browns. You counting?
Baked.
There were steamed potatoes at a few.
Oh yeah, that's funny when they do just a
Which-
steamed potato.
What else?
I'm gonna give you steak fries.
Steak fries. Well, that's a variation.
If you go to Moose and Frank's, they have like 5 different kinds of
I know,
French
I
fries.
do love that. I
Cottage
love
fries,
that.
steak fries.
What's cottage?
It's the chips.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
They even have chips.
Homemade?
Yeah. Double baked.
Oh, double baked.
Ooh.
But what do you call a stuffed? Do you call that stuffed?
That's
too?
a stuffed.
Yeah. That was big in the 80s too.
Roasty, which is hash
But
brown.
that's
no,
hash brown. That's hash
so-
browns. No?
I would say it's different.
Well, they have the Keen's hash has taters, but that's a composed dish.
We had tater tots.
Tater
Leonese
tots?
potato.
We had tater
Yes.
tots.
Tater tots.
Tater
Leonese.
tots.
There's potato at Galatoire's that is.
The pomme souffle.
No, they
No.
have pomme souffles, but it's a particular type. Brabant potatoes.
Wow.
They're like, it is the best expression of a potato
Yeah.
in any restaurant is in a steakhouse. There's so many different
What's the
varieties.
Brabant?
It's just like a cubed, roasted, fried potato. And listen, there's so many kinds of potatoes that I was just like trying to make you guys a steak, which I did. I couldn't remember what the fuck this one is called.
Palmana.
Palmzana?
Palmanis.
Palmanis?
That's really good.
Yeah.
What are you using there? Just butter?
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
Thank you.
what else is a classic order then? I always have a difficulty of figuring out what's the sides, right? Because by the time you get to the sides, you might be full, and that's another faux pas of
Dude,
ordering a steakhouse.
I know.
So give me the steakhouse rules.
I'm telling you my order. Are you telling?
I know.
Are you
I
asking
can.
like?
I think I can guess what your order
Tell
is.
me. Let's do it.
Wedge, bone-in ribeye.
Yes.
Hold on.
Let's start at the top though, Gabe.
Oh, martini.
Yeah. That
How?
is
How do you order a martini?
the proper way.
I do it the wrong
My
way.
co-author is a disgrace.
Can you let the world know what the proper way is? I don't even have to worry about you, sir.
Of course, you know. Gin, dry, olive.
Thank you. No
My-
olive twist. That's where I think it's twist.
We were close.
Mine
to
is-
this
You're a
shit.
vodka dude,
Mine
aren't
is
you?
Listen to this
disgusting.
shit.
Filthy vodka martini.
What are you, 5 years old?
Every night, America, I had to deal with
It looks
this.
like a fish
One of the
tank.
smartest men, coolest guys I know. I work with them because of you work with this guy.
That's ridiculous.
And I have to hear that order every night.
Every night. Salty like the sea.
Okay, so how many martinis?
I try to do, well, it depends on the night, but I try to keep it at one if we're going into wine,
Well,
if there's wine available.
Nothing
So-
good happens after 2.
before I left New York, before the world ended the pandemic, I started a little club that I didn't invite really anybody because it only got together 2 times. It was the 3 Martini Club. Woof. 3 martinis before you sit down.
Wow.
Yeah. We should put that together.
Yeah. Bring that back.
Inspire all these young kids not drinking.
Wait, so you
anymore.
went to a restaurant?
So
did
usually a
3,
place
and
that has a
then-
steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
Like we did it at the grill once. 3 steak. Oh, I don't remember anything.
That's a good martini.
Yeah. But okay, martinis done. Okay. Remember, everybody, don't order like this child here with his bullshit martini. Order like this
Real
fucking
man.
Gandalf the Grey
Thank
Wisdom.
you.
Okay. Martini. Check.
Martini
Next.
done. I go,
Server comes down. How big is the group, too, by the way? What's the ideal size steakhouse?
that's a great question.
4 to 6.
Now, what if it's a circular table,
Circuit. Ooh.
You can move to 8 if it's a proper circular table.
right?
Yeah.
What if it's a square?
4.
4 tops. I think 4. It's 4 or 8. I don't know. 6 is hard.
Dude, I stopped going to these dinners where it's like, it's 12 people at a rectangular table. I'm like, I'm out.
We sound like we're Larry David. You
Because
got
the
it.
one person I want to talk to
Yeah.
is down there, and I got to talk to Rich. Hey!
We're doing,
Yeah, man.
we're doing 10 at a round table next week.
We are.
Where's my invite? Fuck you guys. Okay. So you sit down, martini. You're choosing, if you can, get the round table if possible, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And or a booth. I mean, a booth is a fun part of, if you're doing like a 4 top or something.
Musa and Frank's booth.
Yeah.
Any kind of booth, banquet type of thing.
Dude.
But the reason why I'm
That room.
partial to a circular table, more ability to put more plates.
Oh. Why is that?
I don't
Physics?
know. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong on the geometry of it all, but I feel you can put more food on a circular table than a square table.
Let's take a call from a viewer and see if they know.
Okay, so you're sitting down, let's say it's 4. Now server comes, now what?
We're going salads and sides. I usually go wedge unless there's a tableside Caesar, because sometimes I want to show early.
Tableside Caesar.
Get me over there, like Golden
Are you one of
Steer.
those like no anchovies kinds of people?
Hell no. I'm like,
Full
bring it
anchovy.
on. Bring the raw eggs. I love it.
I don't think people understand that there's fish in the Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, but once you make, when you make homemade Caesar dressing the first time, like it's with real anchovies, it's like, oh God, it's heaven. What about you? Your wedge?
Wedge always. Wedge,
What
absolutely.
dressing on the wedge? Because I see a lot of people doing
Wait.
crazy shit. Some people refuse to blue cheese.
Blue cheese.
I didn't know that was an
Blue
option.
cheese
Yeah,
all the way.
I see ranch. I see a rancher every once in a while.
Ranch and Russian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we showed a Russian version because it
But
looks
blue
good.
cheese is
You got to.
It's key.
The only
And a
time-
steak knife. Crunchy enough that you could cut
now.
it with a steak knife.
Hold on. Here's another thing. Do you tell the server if I'm the server and one of you says, and I'm like, okay, so far so good. I see that they've had like 2 martinis. They're dressed appropriately. They're talking. The phones are not on. They're not. They're like fucking adults.
Yeah.
I'm excited to serve you guys. Caesar and a wedge salad. Right. Okay. Starting off with that. Great. And then Gabe says, "Can you chop that up for us, please?" Then I'm gonna now go to the kitchen and be like, "Go fuck these guys."
Yeah.
Are you
I
guys
would
chopped or
walk
no
out.
chopped?
No chop. I want to.
I would walk out.
So if they're offering you the ability to chop your salad, do you think that is like a red herring, or is like a test? Because people
That's
ask for it
funny.
all the time.
That's a great-
I think it is like a sign of like these guys are fucking noobs.
People ask for it all the time.
all the fucking time.
Chop-
If they offer a
chopped?
steakhouse will offer. Would you like that chopped? I've
We were
seen-
never offered it.
never.
Wow.
We
Maybe
look
it's
like
racist because I'm fucking
Yeah.
Korean.
we came in pretty hot with we were suits, we were doing a book. I think they assume maybe
These
we don't
guys
want
chop
to
their
chop.
own salad.
All right.
But that is so interesting. It's all about the crunch. You have to design
What's
that
the
pleasure
pleasure
of
of
that?
wedge?
I know.
All
It's
right.
like just cold ice cream.
Now-
It works.
What are the quintessential appetizers besides that? And the second question I have is, are you eating the bread or you're not eating the bread? And no matter
That's
what,
a
I
great
feel like
question.
the steakhouse, even if it has really fresh, like some steakhouses now have really great bread programs, or like Gruyères or something fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like you're Odysseus and it's the siren song, and you got to just fucking go like, no,
Yeah.
you got to run away.
It's
If I'm 2 martinis in, I'm having some bread.
you're screwed.
Even if it's bad,
Yeah.
you're gonna eat it, right?
Yeah.
Saltines.
Like Taylor's does the half and half. Like you do a half, it's like grilled buttered and half garlic bread.
Oof.
And it's not the best sourdough, but it's just what you need on your lips at that moment. Like just a little butter, salt.
I don't want a place that has good bread. I want it to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like even if, you know what I almost want? Where like the butter's in the package.
Yeah.
I don't
mean-
want them to give a shit about making
Yeah.
fucking bread.
The garlic bread in there that we have a recipe for is like just slathered on, on some white bread, a white roll. And we went, that is beautiful.
So
In a
What are
tin
they-
foil,
Oh, yeah.
an aluminum foil thing. I love that.
let me ask you now. These are real life situations. There's 4 of you, and then you order the shrimp cocktail, and they're
They're
like,
on-
great, and then they're about to go
Oh.
away. And by the way, sir, there's only 3.
3.
What do? This is
I'll
built
tell you,
into the matrix of steakhouses to fuck you.
My first thing is is there any way you could
Just add a
add
shrimp.
one? We'll pay but a lot of times
They
you
don't.
can't.
You know they don't. They don't.
No.
That is an instant the price goes up and up and
Yeah.
up. Now the question is, there's 4 of you. You get 2, so now you have 6. Who of the table gets the other 2?
Good question.
You know this is like now Survivor.
Well, if it's a premium shrimp, I'm just going for it, and I'll apologize later. Even if it's
Cocktail
not-
sauce, spicy, not
Extra-
spicy,
extra horse
spicy.
Extra spicy.
Now oysters,
Yes.
if they offer it.
And kind of depends on the place.
Yeah, it depends on the place, but that's
Okay.
nice.
But oysters, if offered,
Oysters with shrimp. Is
Now,
nice.
now we're talking about wedge salad. We've had some bread. We've had shrimp cock.
we call it that in the book.
Now, because of Luger's, every place now has the wedge, the strip of bacon, the slab of bacon,
Yeah.
which is commodity bacon.
Yeah.
It's like Hatfields, I believe, and they slice
At
it
Luger's?
thick. I think every place serves Hatfields
Yeah.
bacon,
Oh, wow.
and it's delicious.
It's so good.
I don't want to say every place. Sorry, but
I always avoid it because I know I'm going to be stuffed. Do you
you
ever
also
do?
order your martini like a 5-year-old boy.
Do you ever do steak tartare and then steak?
No steak
Yeah,
tartare.
No,
that's
never.
I never understand that.
No
move.
steak tartare.
Like what? That's
No.
weird.
Yeah.
But a lot of people love to order that.
Yeah.
You do bacon.
Yeah. If there's bacon,
You got to get it. You have to get it. Now the question here is tomato onion salad,
Yes. Preferably
Yeah.
with bad tomatoes.
right? Hothouse tomatoes only. Don't give me the green market
Dude.
bullshit.
Put those onions in
Thick.
water a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you
There's
do?
a lot to unravel here. Now the question is, steak sauce on all that shit or no steak sauce?
on the steak or salad.
On the salad.
The Luger like
Luger's does
it's
this-
Luger sauce, right?
It's Luger sauce, which is steak sauce.
Yeah.
You know what the secret ingredient is in the steak sauce?
Ketchup?
Prunes.
I knew it was a fruit.
Prunes.
Sweetness. That's yummy. We redid that
Yeah.
for the book.
Are you pro steak sauce on like shit?
Yeah.
In a steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sauce guy. The Musso and Frank's chopped steak is my favorite dish, but you have to have a side of that steak sauce. It's sweet. It's like Luger sauce,
All right.
and they serve it with watercress, which is smart.
If you look at our table, in any other normal restaurant, that is a giant meal already.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking giant meal. You got the bread. We've had 2 salads with a Caesar. We have had, actually, really 3. Caesar,
Yeah.
wedge, tomato onion, piece of bread, shrimp cocktail, oysters, strip of bacon. Are we missing anything else? Good.
The sides and the entree and the dessert.
All right, now
some kind of fried
Oh yeah.
thing.
No, now we're going to the order of the steak. Okay. What is the order? What are you guys getting at the steakhouse?
I'm getting a ribeye, medium rare, tomahawk if it's a group of friends, tomahawk. Yeah, and I share. You know, there's some guys, old school guys, that love their own steak.
They order.
Yeah, I used to do that and take it home and make scramble when I had time for that, to make breakfast.
So it's always the ribeye?
For him.
For
I
me.
do New York strip to share.
I'll do a porterhouse if it's like a nice place.
And the New York strip tends to be the least expensive thing that you can actually share between 2 people. So that's what I
Now,
like.
how do you order it, sir?
Medium rare.
Medium rare, sometimes rare with like the black and blue.
And what is black and blue for everybody?
It's pretty rare with a char.
It's like dead raw in the
Yeah.
center and charred.
Yeah.
And that's Pittsburgh style though, right?
Is it? I don't.
I think Pittsburgh style is charred like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dead raw in the center.
You know, yeah, I like a maybe beef and blue plus. You know, like a little.
That's been the new thing over the past 15 years. Can I get rare plus?
Yeah. What does that mean? Plus, it's like a little bit.
In between rare.
Yeah,
and
it's a
medium
new.
rare? That's when you know somebody's been like reading GQ magazine or
I
some
know.
bullshit like that.
I overheard something
Order it
plus. I'm like, do plus. But you know, we did. Speaking of sear, we did uncover an amazing thing at House of Prime Rib. That the order you could order it, you could get a sear on it.
Wow.
Which I love that
That's
the
genius.
texture.
It's
Yeah.
the only problem with a primer house. There's no Maillard reaction.
Yes.
So now I'm going back to server Chang.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, good job, guys. I know you're eating. I'm like, ooh, you've eaten more than 3 pieces of bread, Gabe. You're gonna tap out soon. All right, but you've put in your steak order. You've ordered it. You got
Yeah.
ribeye, and you want your sirloin or porterhouse, and you've ordered it rare plus. I'll be like, this guy is either knows this shit or he's a total fucking fraud. And now you, instead, you not get a porterhouse. You're like, could I get the fillet? Initially, I'd be like, one of these guys. But you're just like, could you butterfly that for me? I'd be like, maybe this guy knows something. I learned this, but
What is that?
I didn't know this was a
Bread it?
thing. So like, you can get a fillet instead of being like a thick
Yeah.
thing. You cut it in half so it's like open like a butterfly,
I didn't know that.
still cut together, cooks a little bit faster. And then if you go, could I get it black and blue? Would be like, you're either trying to impress people, and I want to wait to see you try to eat this. Because if you eat it with gusto and be like, this this person is like, you're an expert.
Can I just ask them? I'm really enjoying this role play, but is Server Chang a real? Like, do servers really think this?
I don't know, but Server Chang does.
I know. Listen, Server Chang, I know there's a lot going on up here. That you're evaluating us every moment, but I also love that. So I do that. So maybe next.
But
show,
I do
could be
think that
Server
a
Chang.
good server, a good captain will be, you're constantly reading data from your table.
Yeah.
Trust me, for sure. And you want to judge. You're always trying to judge if someone's a good diner, in my opinion, someone that's good at their job. So if you get Pittsburgh, and it'd be like, you're either a poser again, or you are a fucking like savage.
Probably a
I
poser.
love how Server Chang, the negative review is the first line. It's never like either cool or you're not. It's always like you're a poser.
And now the sides.
Sides, I'm a cream corn guy,
Woo!
which is controversial. Everyone's a cream spinach guy.
But not a lot of places have cream corn.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like prime rib spots do. But what's yours?
Pump puree.
Pump puree every time?
Every time.
I can't do pump puree.
Oh,
I need a French fry.
I need a French fry.
It
I need something fried.
It just fills me up too much.
I
By
was
that
a loaded
point.
tater guy, and I moved to the fried experience.
So I'll do a double starch. If they have a baked potato
Wow.
for me, because you can't share it. French fries, some kind of cottage fries, no shoestring, 86 shoestring all the time, right?
Yeah.
But if
a
I'm not
mess.
afraid of a steakhouse fry. I'm not afraid of a wedge, but any kind of fried thing, hash brown, great. It's almost always a double potato for me.
Ketchup?
No.
Okay.
Never. I'll put it in the steak sauce.
Copy.
Now, where I have deviated from the orthodox ways of ordering steakhouses, I now go sans cream spinach.
Also,
I'll get
onion
some-
rings always.
Oh, yeah.
if they have onion rings.
Onion rings always.
Onion
when
rings
they
always.
got
Cream
them,
spinach,
get 'em.
pump puree, it's too much. Too much.
Yeah. What's it like? Half butter.
And cream.
Yeah.
Literally, it's in this. It's in
Yeah.
its name. I don't need that. I don't need that
Yeah.
anymore. But that's just a minority opinion.
I mean, it seems like Server Chang and Server Wareheim are in sync.
I know.
There's
It's
an
just-
odd man out.
This fucking customer Gabe is.
And I
getting
just
like
feel
86
judged.
fucking Customer Gabe.
He's getting Australian lobster tail, surf and turf as well. So I'm like, what?
So-
no, just kidding. He's never done.
What about people that
Thrown in
order
the bus.
non-steaks at a steakhouse?
It's
Depends on the place.
It's a disgrace for the community. No. I mean, I'm trying to think. I
Unless
don't
it's
think we
surf and
ever
turf?
did.
No.
Surf and turf is the move.
I hardly ever do surf and turf, but I can do
I
it.
Someone
always
else's better
want. I
than-
want
Yeah.
to do a lobster tail, but like 1 out of 10 times, it's yummy. It's usually not, but.
I have no problem ordering lobster tail at a restaurant, like a steakhouse, if they offer it as a surf and turf
Yeah.
platter. Because frozen lobster tail is fucking delicious.
Yeah, I mean, but it's what
We did it at Golden Steer. That's like the.
Yeah.
Can you tell everybody about a little bit about Golden Steer? Where is it? Why is it such a special place?
Golden Steer. When I did my evaluation, when I asked you other top tier chefs, John Shook. That's it. That's the only 2 chefs I know. Everyone's Golden Steer was on their list. Las Vegas, old school spot. There's a portrait and there's a photo that I took in the book. Maybe my favorite thing, but it's just 100 staff members. That everyone's amazing. There's guys carrying like 17 martinis at one time. It's like a spectacle, but beautiful, old school.
Off the strip.
Yeah, all the classics. It's amazing.
Carpeted.
Yeah, and every single person that works there has a story. It's like, I mean, Vegas itself is a steakhouse because it's all these people coming together to do this
Now you've
same thing.
eaten a lot of stuff. There's actually now nothing to even put in a doggy bag. You guys have eaten till you're unhappy, which is, I think, the golden. Is that in the book? The rule of if you go to a steakhouse, you have to eat till you're unhappy. You
Till
go
you're
unhappy
sick.
to celebrate. Now you are so unhappy.
Yeah. Well, we talk about that and then ordering cheesecake, like
Right?
having to
what
do
happens? There's something happens that gets triggered in
I- Yes.
What's the dessert of choice?
Cheesecake.
cheesecake if they have a strawberry drizzle. But I think it's this the idea of a steakhouse is the repetition of it because you know what you're going to get. You know my order. I know your order. It's kind of fun to not. There's the adventure eating, which I love too, but like this is like I have to finish with the thing I do every time, even if it's a little bite. But you take it home, but then you're eating it on the way. I don't know.
You also like a Sunday.
I love a sundae. I ordered a sundae last night. Everyone's like, we're not going to sundae.
And
Sundae
this
was
is
gone
another
2
dinner
seconds.
that server Chang was not
Didn't
invited
invite
to,
you.
but that's okay.
Oh,
Didn't want to be judged.
It's okay. It's all right. I was off. It's okay. Could have called me.
it's available.
Speaking of your book, I think it's beautiful. I'm very excited for you. I don't like that Eric Wareheim has slowly crept into the food world and just taking a stranglehold of it. And this is his second book. First book, Wareheim, New York Times bestseller.
Absolutely.
You know, it's very skeptical New York Times. So let's be honest here.
There's a lot of
It was
pale-
COVID. It was COVID. The time, you know. Anyway, it's a beautiful book. This is brilliant, and I think this is the book that is a good gift. It's also the book that should be a good coffee table book. Buy this for your coffee table. I promise you guys, if you need to get a gift for like a friend that you don't like, it's not like you need a gift for a friend, but not like something that's crazy expensive, not something that's shitty. This is the gift. That should be the selling point.
I mean, it's true. We talk about like you give your
not
dad
shitty.
this, you can give
It's a great family gift.
a foodie. You can give foodie this and your dad. And
It's going to win everyone
Yeah.
over. Everybody should have this. It's got to be like next to the French Laundry Cookbook. This, it's a book about like vintage watches, and then you got a guy covered.
Server Chang is also a marketing genius. Like I just love it.
Turned it around. Thank you.
Thank you. You can find these guys. What's your Instagram handles?
I'm Steak Daddy. I changed it to Steak Daddy. No, it's
Donut Daddy.
Eric at Eric Wareheim Donut at Eric Wareheim.
Gabe Ulla.
Done and done. Thanks, guys.
Drop us a
Thank
message,
you.
like and subscribe.
This episode is sponsored by Anthropic, the team behind Claude. You know that moment when you're developing a dish that's almost there but not quite? That's when you need Claude, an AI collaborator that works through culinary complexity with you. It genuinely helps you work through culinary decisions as you build your intuition. I think that AI is so important for not following recipes to becoming a better cook where you can make thoughtful decisions independent of anybody else. That is what separates somebody that's merely good to somebody that's great. And Claude goes beyond easy answers and explores techniques with you until something truly clicks. Try Claude for free at Claude.com AI/DaveChang and see why the world's best problem solvers choose Claude as their thinking partner. All right, guys. When you go out to a restaurant or if you go to your supermarket, you might see all kinds of steaks and beef and chicken and lamb and pork. But when it usually comes to the beef section, and we're going to the grocery butcher store, you're going to see beef that looks probably rosy red, really wet. And you're going to see something maybe in the back counter or something that is separate from that looks sort of pale, dark brown, lifeless almost. And you might ask yourself, why is that way more expensive than the stuff that looks super, super fresh? This is how the process goes for something like this and something like this. And in here is, I'll smell in a second, something that's been dry aged. And we're going to talk today about wet aged and dry aged beef, mainly because our guests today are Eric Wareheim, Gabe Ulla, and they came out with a new book about steakhouses in America. And in 2025, the big buzzword, I think, one of the big buzzwords has been dry aged. And it's not just steaks, it's beef, it's pork, it's any kind of protein. And we'll talk about that more in a second, but let's just go from the beginning. So let's just start off with a cow. You want to slaughter it as humanely as possible, and humanely actually has a big difference in terms of the taste. When a cow or any animal is super stressed, it has a low pH, it produces a lot of lactic acid, and that's what gives it what can be a sour taste in the beef or chicken or anything like that, usually beef. And it also is what causes rigor mortis. So this whole idea that you want something that's freshly killed, like in Taiwan, they'll have freshly killed beef for hot pot. It's delicious. So like you have a small window of something that's freshly killed before it gets the rigor mortis. So you kill, because guess what? Anything that is this had a head and a heart, and it was breathing, and it was a living animal, and you just have to deal with that because that's one of the issues where we've sanitized sort of the fact that a life was taken so you could eat your meat to the point where people don't even want to talk about it. But if you slaughter something, you have a small window from the death to the point where it develops rigor mortis. In that window is probably the only time that you can eat something freshly killed. When it's in rigor, that is not what you want to do. There's a lot of things happening, but oftentimes it might taste sour and it's really stiff because of the acid buildup that's produced in the cow. It's also another important thing when you are slaughtering an animal that you want to do it as humanely as possible where it's not stressed out. And that will add to the potential sourness of the meat itself. So something that's humanely raised is also more often than not going to produce something that is more delicious, not just because how it was raised, but when you end its life. This is not popular talk, which is why people don't talk about it that much at all, but let's go back into sort of the more sort of normal way you might think about beef. So in that, you now breaking down, you're breaking down the cow into primal cuts. Those primal cuts have numbers according to the USDA. So let's just say like the 109 is the entire rib cage, where you get rib eyes and the spinalis dorsi, et cetera, et cetera. And depending on the facilities, right, up until like the 1960s, all beef was dry aged. And that means that you're putting it into a facility where there's high humidity, usually around 80, 85%, and it's cold. It's like below 40 degrees, probably around 37.5, 38 degrees. And there's got to be a lot of air circulation. That hasn't been the case throughout time in history, but today that's what it is. And you want a lot of humidity to ensure that you're not going to dry out the meat. Because what you're going to do when you're hanging this beef in these primal cuts from the carcass is that you're going to let this thing called microbial action happen, and you're going to have enzymatic process happen where you have enzymes that are going to break down the tissue and sinew and some of the muscle fibers in the beef that is going to make it more tender. And also in that tenderizing process, it's going to become more delicious because of the production of glutamic acid, the same glutamic acid that you need for your brain to function. It is also the basis of MSG. It is what is delicious. It is umami, right? So dry aged beef tenderizes it, makes it more delicious, and you lose water along the way. And oftentimes because of the process, you're cutting off the sides, right? So maybe there's a picture we can show what a dry aged sort of primal cut looks like. Anywhere from, few weeks, people dry age now up to a year. And the outside becomes hardened and like just rock. And you need to slice that off. And underneath it, you're gonna have this cut of beef that is going to smell a little bit nuttier. It's going to taste funky in a good way because there's been microbial action on the outside as well. Guess what? You're rotting it. You're controlling the rot. And almost everything you find to be delicious is rotten. Whether it's wine, whether it's anything, soy sauce, kimchi, all of that stuff that is delicious, Parmesan, all of that is fermented, is controlled rot. And what we're trying to do is harness all of those enzymes and the production of glutamic acid to get something that is more flavorful. And it's going to taste different around the world with different cuts of beef, different things that the animals were raised on, different terroir, right? What makes the land taste like the land. It's going to taste a little bit different wherever you are. And there's also all kinds of microbes in the facilities that you're aging it in. So beef, where you're dry aging, it tastes different all over the place. But what you're trying to do is to get that deep, funky flavor. And funky is not the right word, but it does. A nice piece of dry-aged beef is more intense. I always think about nuttiness and flavor. It smells musky in a way that probably like my 6-year-old would find to be not nice. But as you learn, it has a lot more nuance, a lot more flavor. And it just doesn't taste like a slab of protein, which is what this is. And, this is called wet age. And that's exactly what it is. It was developed in the 20th century, so probably I would say the 50s or 60s. And all it is you cryovac, so you put it in vacuum, you take all the oxygen out of the sliced cuts of beef. And again, when I say beef, they could be pork, they could be anything else, but usually this is all processed around cows. The same enzymatic process. You have two enzymes, I think it's calpins and cathepins. I can't pronounce that properly. Those are the enzymes responsible for breaking down the sinew, the muscle fibers, and tissue that make it more tender and more delicious. But on the wet aging, when you just put it in cryovac, in vacuum, you're basically letting it rest in its own juices, its own sort of blood and water, and it breaks down naturally. And that happens over a couple weeks. Then they slice it up, put it in plastic, and that's why it looks so vibrant and rosy compared to something. Again, I have no idea what this looks like. I don't know if they sold you dry aged beef. This is really wet. Very rarely would I buy a dry aged steak at a grocery store. You want this to be of the provenance of people that do it all the time, butchers that have the facilities to do it properly, and it's an art form, quite frankly. So the other thing I would say is I do like cooking steaks if I'm going to cook something that's a ribeye on the bone. The bone increases the cooking time, but it also makes sure that it's a little bit more juicy, a little bit more tender, and it helps retain the shape when you're cooking it. So let's open this sucker up. Maybe you can see the difference here. Literally how wet this is. And this is wet age. That's exactly what it is. So dry age has a different flavor and a different funk. And I've gone out to dinner. I'm not going to call you out, Bill Simmons. I'll call you out. He would much rather have a wet age, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if I have a nice, beautiful dry aged beef that's 45 to 60 days old, I'm cooking it as cleanly and as austere as possible because I'm not trying to add marinades or anything. With something that's wet age, I will put sauce, anything, to make it taste like something that's more delicious. It's not that you can't make this more delicious, but it, to me, is really one note. It just is sort of, it's one note. It just tastes like a very plastic, sanitized version of what beef is. When you have a really nice prime cut, and prime also has to do with the grading scale of beef, we should probably get Kate Flannery in again so we can go over the process of this, but we wanted to buy this because this is what you can get at a supermarket. This would not be something that I would buy in the restaurant because it's just not marble enough. And when you see something that's Wagyu or something that is born and bred in Japan, because that's what Wagyu is, it just means Japanese cow, and it's not free range, it's staying in its sort of confines, you're going to see the striations, you're going to see fat marbled all throughout. And I don't know if this is grass-fed, but corn-fed usually builds up more, better marbling. And grass-fed usually has these bigger chunks, and you can tell when something's grass-fed because it has a different color. So sometimes beef might be grass-fed but finished on corn, and it changes the composition a little bit. So we're going to cook this, but I just wanted to show you what you can get at the supermarket. If you saw at a restaurant, this would look way different, I think, and it would look much more dehydrated. I believe that this has been dry aged a little bit. This has been wet aged. And I think a lot of people may not like dry aged because it tastes so different, right? It has character, it has personality, it has sometimes flavors that can be challenging. And I think people want something that is nice and easy. And wet age is super clean and one note. Again, I can't stress that enough. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. I cook wet aged beef all the time. But if I'm going to cook it as a steak, I want something that's dry aged. I want something that has character. I want something that is not the same as everything else. So we're going to cook both of these. And there's a lot of different ways to cook steaks, clearly, as well. But when I was working for Tom Colicchio, he really popularized, in my opinion, when he was at Gramercy Tavern and then Craft, medium cooking steaks in a pan on the stove and then finishing in the oven. over medium high heat, because I think the prevailing wisdom at the time was like, you need to cook this as hard and as fast as possible, because that's a steakhouse. You either have it in a broiler, or you're doing it in like a salamander type of thing, or you're just cooking it at very, very high to get that crust, right? That black and blue type of flavor. So it gets really, really, charred. I mean, I love that flavor too, and that's sort of synonymous with the steakhouse. But I just really love how Tom Colicchio thought about cooking meat. A little bit more gentle. It may not have the textural char that you might get from something that is cooked under a broiler, like you might get at a great steakhouse like Peter Luger's. But it has a little bit more nuance. It's cooked a little bit with more finesse. And the smell of finishing it in butter, to arroser, it's the French term for basting in aromatics. Sometimes it's bay leaf, sometimes it's thyme, sometimes it's rosemary, but usually it's with butter. You might cook the steak in clarified butter, and then you finish it in whole milk butter with the milk solids and milk fat, and you see it all the time now. But that flavor and that smell is, you cannot mistake that for anything else. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's really a beautiful way of cooking steaks, and that's what I'm going to try to show you today. I do like cooking on a grill as well, but they're just totally different ways of cooking meat. You can cook this all the way up top. Like, for example, this is so thin, I'm going to cook this up top. And there's a lot of wisdom about getting steaks to room temp, and if it matters or not, and salting and pre-salting. Because if you salt it ahead of time, it creates this crust after it sort of takes out a lot of the water inherent in the beef and creates this beautiful crust that helps it get a lot more like caramelized, and you can develop that Maillard reaction a little bit better. But I think when we're doing it in dinner time live and I need to cook the steak really quickly, I'm going to get this room temp. But more often than not, I'm not pre-salting and I'm not getting it room temp at home or even at the restaurant, because you just don't have the time. But if you see us cooking steaks on Dinner Time Live, we're getting it as room temp as possible. Sometimes people might, that honestly is a whole conversation about getting things into sous vide cooking, and we'll talk about that later. But, I'll just talk about it right now. I don't necessarily love cooking sous vide beef in every aspect, because it's hard to get the Maillard reaction. Maillard reaction, again, we say it all the time on the show, is the browning of the sugars in your protein. And that's what makes it brown. That also develops more glutamic acid, which makes it more delicious. So again, I like the dry aged beef in general. It's going to get more flavor because I'm going to be able to get more glutamic acid that's developed because of the enzymatic process in the beef. And because it's drier, it's going to be easier for me to develop a more Maillard reaction, more browning on the surface area of the steak. So a lot to go over. I didn't even realize that you could talk forever about fucking beef until right now. I'm just going to salt. I don't add pepper. I'll add pepper depending on how hot the pans are, but I usually add pepper at the end, because oftentimes I found that pepper can get acrid. It can taste a little bitter and burnt because of the cooking process. It's a lot more salt than probably you would ever use at home. When I saw this, again, first time, usually it's the amount of butter and the amount of salt you see in a restaurant that if you are going from amateur to professional, you're just like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. I think oils are important. You have cultivated oils that are made out of algae that are great. Peanut oil was always wonderful because of the high smoke point. We've talked about oils a lot. I'll still cook olive oil, but the problem with olive oil, you're going to burn off a lot of the volatile compounds that make it olive oil, but I'm not going to be burning it or cooking it at over 500 degrees for long. So I like cooking almost everything these days in olive oil, particularly at home. And you can do clarified butter. And the reason why clarified butter is what it is high smoke point, because you remove the milk solid, something we're going to reintroduce a little bit later. Here we have a stainless steel pan, a Heston that's been bonded with copper. Copper is important because it helps with the conduction of heat. Black steel is great as well. And this is something that most people have. Most people don't have this pan at home. This is a black steel pan, and this is cast iron. This is what you see in restaurants a lot. This and this. Rarely do you see this. So it's on medium-high heat. And I'm gonna try to bring this to like medium rare, so like, I would say like 130-ish, 132-ish. If I get it to 130, it'll get to 135 when I let it rest. Because of this thickness, what I do know is I'm gonna crank up the heat. By the time I get color on this side, and by the time I flip it and the other side is colored, it's done. My concern with something this thin is it may not even be, it might even be overcooked because it's so thin. And this is the handy cake tester you see, because what you will do to check the temperature is right in the center. And right now, it's dead cold, right? And when it's warm, that's where I want. I probably won't use that because I also know just by cooking a lot, that by the time I flip it, it's probably 2 minutes. 2 minutes in the oven, 2 minutes on the other side, and we're done. So my good friend Magnus Nilsson is right. If you ever see him cook from Favakin, he's got a new restaurant in Sweden. He likes to move his steak around because it does make sense in terms of where you put your meat, it gets colder, right? And you want to constantly rotate it around so you're getting the full surface area of heat on this pan. I just wanted to show you the difference of where we're at. And I'm gonna probably kiss it 30 seconds more on the other side. And sometimes you might have too much oil coming out and you wanna like drain it out because that actually makes it harder to brown. I'm gonna let that rest because that's done. What is it? They say like half the cooking time of let it rest half the cooking time. I don't always, sometimes you just need to fucking go in and cut it. And a lot of times you can just tell by the color, right? I mean, really I could just cook this whole thing up top. But if it was bigger, it was on the bone and I needed to like, I put this like this probably for like 2 minutes and then I'd maybe let it rest and then I'll finish it and baste it, and then slice. And you see that in restaurants a lot. But here's another thing. So like in here, that's a pan sauce. You don't have to throw this away. I put the steak in at 400 degrees because right now that's all I can go. And the thing about having restaurant ovens and stovetops, you just have a lot more BTUs. So a lot more like firepower, just way hotter.
So dice some onion, put some butter in.
No, I'm just making shit up right now. I don't mind serving a sauce with something that is, again, wet age, because it just doesn't taste like anything really to me.
And so now it's out of the oven, put back on top, and now...
I mean, I would let it rest and then put it back on the stove top, but it's so thin.
And then now you're putting butter and thyme on, and are you gonna baste? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
Cool. Speaking of sauces, how do we feel? Are you an A1 person? Are you
No steak sauce.
No sauce at all. How do we feel about ketchup with steak?
No, absolutely not.
Agreed. If we won't even put it on our hot dogs, we're definitely not letting it get put on steak.
I would be surprised. I figure you would put it on your steak.
So you've got thyme as the herb. Is that your go-to?
Yeah, I do like butter and thyme is sort of a magic combination. So this is a spinalis. It's like the best part, but you know, the problem is like, you saw that I barely cooked the steak, right? This is like, you would be able to get this rare if you had a ripping hot stove. But, you know, we have a nice medium rare. Listen, this is still super delicious. This is the best cut right there.
How can you tell which part's the best cut?
It's the top of the ribeye. It's called the spinalis dorsi. That is the name of the cut of in the animal, and it is the most fibrous and fattiness. It just is like the most delectable part, say, outside of the oxtail to me.
And so you just whipped up this sauce impromptu.
Yeah. I could have put a little mustard in.
And it was cream, butter,
That's it. You
the
didn't even
drippings of the pan.
Yeah. A little Malden. This is where I do like fleur de sel or celery because of the crunch. I love celery or fleur de sel, right? The French crystal salt that is super grainy. Because when you bite into that with a piece of fatty protein, it's like a salt starburst. Anyway, see how this goes. Very tasty. Cooking steaks at home like this is hard because the HVAC is tough. You smoke at your house. And so to me, cooking steaks this way is almost always the restaurant style, unless you're cooking outside. But if I'm cooking outside, I'm probably gonna use a grill. More than likely, I'm cooking on a grill. This is the same cut, the spinalis right here. I'm gonna trim that off. This is more medium. I wanted to get more color on it, and the pan wasn't that as hot as I'd like, but it is what it is. All right.
Today's Ask Dave is from John from Exeter in the UK, Major Domo level 8. Favorite thing to make is nicely Momofuku instant noodles, but beef rendang is pretty good too. And their bucket list meal, John's bucket list meal, is to travel back in time to El Bulli. And if you had to choose one cut of meat or seafood item as the only one for the rest of your life, what would it be and how would it be cooked?
I need versatility. I would take the chuck for the beef because there's like 5 different kinds of muscle groups that all sort of join in this thing that's the chuck. So the chuck for beef would be mine. It would allow me to do braises, slow roasts. I can also get the chuck eye out. There's also the Denver cut that's in it, which is, I think, effectively the same thing. So if I wanted something super tender that I can cook like a classic sort of filet, that would be it. So chuck to me is the most, it's your friend that has the most personality, but it is the most volatile, but can be a little bit of everything. And that's the person you'd want. I think if you're stuck on a desert island, funny, sad, a little bit all over the fucking place, that's the chuck. To me, for fish, I'd probably go with the snapper, maybe striped bass, but probably a snapper because I think it's so versatile. It makes a really good broth, fumet. It's great grilled, whole. It's also great for raw sashimi or crudo. It's great fried. It's just a very versatile fish. It will not be my favorite fish again. It's probably the most versatile fish for seafood. I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be that, or maybe Murray cod from Australia, which is so fucking good. It's got fat. It is again this crazy versatile fish. You should check out the podcast we did with Josh Nyland of St. Pete's in Australia, in Sydney. Murray cod's pretty good. If it was shellfish, I would probably do like northern Scandinavian langoustines. Like super, super cold water. Or giant ebi, like tiger prawns from like near Russia. Yeah, pretty specific, but those are fucking good. Those are fucking good. Anyway, that's a good question. Keep on sending those questions in. Ask Dave at Major Domo Media. We got some prizes coming, and we are working tirelessly to figure out how to unveil this really big prize. And if you won you are not. You are still going to be allowed to win the big grand prize. So, I'll talk more about that when it comes up. Well, that's our podcast episode for today. Thank you so much. As you can see, we're getting closer and closer and closer to the full new redesign of the DaveChang show. Thank you to David. Thank you to Molly. Thank you to Felipe. Thank you to the Podfather. Thank you to all you guys. Very excited about what's to come for this podcast. Thanks to Gabe and Eric Wareheim. Go buy their new book, Celebration of American Steakhouses. And we'll talk to you soon.